planning and how, we wanted to plot our city. So you want to know, I've kind of gone over future cities a little bit, but it's a project-based learning program where students in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in the middle school will build, design, research cities of the future. This year's question was, how can we make a better use of our city, make it still green, and for our waterway systems, how do we tap into tomorrow's future for waterways? So they built the cities of the future that showcase their solution to citywide sustainability issue. Their topics in the past have been stormwater management, urban agriculture, public spaces, and green energy. Yeah, we have James Ben. He kind of was I don't know if you have city council meetings where you have to lose control a little bit.
All the time.
Yeah, I know my city council in here, I had to lose control sometimes. We met at Marco's Pizza for one of our planning meetings, and so we had introduced James Ben to get everybody to, hey, I'm speaking first. We had our own hats. We had city architects. We had a HMS Engineer, the Waterworks Board, and the city planner. So that's why they're wearing their hazard hats, because we had to label who they were and then talk. The engineering design process has something they learned throughout the entire development. I teach the girls that the engineering design process is to ask, imagine, plan, create, and improve. There's 5 steps. It's a lot like the scientific process. However, this can help you with everyday life solutions. It applies to your math and sciences, your public speaking, problem solving skills, helps the girls with critical thinking skills, and it just helps them to explore different areas in their community as well, because they're also talking to different engineers, different entrepreneurs, people that can help them develop their skills and what they're interested in their future. So also I teach them that it's okay if you fail. If you fail, you can always test and improve again. There's no sense in giving up, to just try it again, because there's always another solution. There's not a one-way solution in most cases. So the girls, this is Emma. They get excited about things, so we were at our planning meeting again, and so they learn in the future cities, they learn that they can get recognized, get in different networking skills for other programs, and they also win awards with this Future Cities program. Future Cities is also sponsored by many of the corporations in Huntsville and around the nation and abroad, so it's big, and it's a very well organized system. The booklet, and I have, there's so much to this booklet. I read it all the time because there's so much I can't even get through it in one sitting, and I have to revert back to it. There's a website that we go to. We do our deliverables. We have to do our rubrics just like school. So they're doing a lot of that. So if they can follow their rubrics, they may win other awards in the future. So we're learning how to really hone in on our rubrics next time. So the project management, they get to learn their project management skills. Like I said, the girls had their chance to be different parts of the city planning process. They had different jobs they got to learn and develop. Yes, my daughter was part of the computer application. Her and Matt worked on the SimCity program, and that helped. That's the very beginning of our process in the urban development, so that we know how we want to plan our waterway systems, where they want to go through the city, and listen to, when we build a factory over here, is it going to upset the neighbors over there? I'm sure you guys know about that in city council as well. So they did on SimCity, they got a lot of complaints, just like in real life, from the city, from people. So they had to learn how to deal with that, they had to learn to deal with the budget, all those things. So they learned the engineering design process and project management skills. So part of that is define, plan, do, and review. mentioned the deliverables. They had to do the virtual city, which is SimCity. They had to do a 1,500-word essay. And each of them came here to the library, and they did a lot of research on Rome. And we still have a book we've had for 3 months. So we will turn that in today. We turned in the others, but we like this one so much, so we need to plan. We think we're going to go to Rome too.
Really?
So we feel like we've already been to Rome. We got to use the computers upstairs certain evenings for the girls to do some of their research, and a lot of the librarians help us with that in the evenings. Because I do work full time at UAB, it's really hard to get here at a decent hour, so I'm thankful you guys are open late. Okay, so as they mentioned, also they get to go to DC if they win. They competed in January. They have to use recycled materials to do their scale model, which is part of that. Part of their model is they have to stay in a budget. I had Bailey as my budget engineer, where she did all of the planning and organization of how much we were allowed to spend, what was donated, and it could only go up to $100, so a lot of the stuff had to be donated from other people. We had to come up with clever ways to do things. So that was a part of that was a big hurdle, because you probably went over $100, but you have to claim it. So Rome wasn't built in a day, as we know, as the saying is said, and it does take time. And the girls on their project plan, they had to set their goals, they had to create a schedule. So part of our meeting, our project plan was not only eating pizza from Sicily, it was also doing our meeting. That went a little crazy. We had our whiteboard. We used our whiteboard quite a bit for brainstorming, for getting the flow of everyone's ideas, and then we also used note cards. That was part of our project plan. And we had to show all of that to the judges as well, as what did you do throughout the process to design this, to get this prepared. So we had to tweak the plans a little, like in the engineering design process. You have to kind of come back, test, design, and improve. And so I would come back as their monitor, their educator. I had project engineers. I had David Nixon and Tim Price, who couldn't make it today, who were our project engineers who helped us with the motor. We had to have a motor aspect to our model. So they helped us build a couple of models. Our models burned out, and at the last minute, the 9th hour, we had to come up with, because it all had to be battery, whatever. We used a fan, and we just used tubing to come through instead of trying to filtrate our water. So, that's our motorized area, that's what we had to do. But our engineers helped us. We learned a lot from that, how you can work through a process. So SimCity was designed here at Pelham Public Library. Thanks to Matt. My daughter's here. We got on a couple computers together, and we designed a couple different cities together. The girls designed some on one meeting, but we had to go with one design to present as a deliverable. So this is part of our city. It had to be green. We had to include wind power, however we can generate power. Our streets, we began with our streets. We had to build our homes. We had to stay with the budget. As you can see, we made our neighbors very happy when we moved the plant on the other side of the river. So they were very happy about that. Clean water tap into tomorrow. That was our course. We used the right here is the aqueduct system used in the ancient Roman times, when the waterway systems would come from different higher sources in the hills and the valleys, because the Mediterranean Sea is up north, and then you have the volcanic mountains and everything. That's how the Romans built their concrete was out of the ashes, so that made this very waterable. And it slanted the gravity, slanted the water, and filtrated into the city. So if a natural disaster happens, other than our dog chewing up his soapbox, what do you do? The girls in their city essay, as they did their research, they had a lot of deliverables, rubrics they had to meet. As you can see, there's a lot more they had to meet, but those were the big main ones. They had to have their city overview. What is their population, their age, location, their community and culture. They also had to have their infrastructure, energy, pollution, transportation, and what type of services. They had to include their education, healthcare, fire, police, the library, the schools. They had to have all of that, just like a regular city would have to have. Where they have futuristic elements and housing, transportation, and their threats. So they read over their essay. This was here at the Helena Sports Complex one evening as they read over their essay together. So they were just going over the story. I'll let them explain their story, what they came up with, and what their natural disaster is. It's really cute. So they built their stage. They had to just build a mock model to get where they were going to put things on their model and get it to scale.